Welcome to our special video on the top 10 unsolved mysteries in history. Throughout time, humanity has encountered perplexing enigmas that continue to baffle researchers, experts, and enthusiasts alike. Today, we will explore some of these enduring mysteries that have defied explanation for centuries. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to my channel. Let's dive in. 1. Thonis-Heracleion. An Egyptian port city on the Mediterranean Sea, Thonis-Heracleion served as a major trading hub prior to the founding of nearby Alexandria around 331 BC. Mythical hero Heracles and Helen of Troy both supposedly spent time there. Around the 2nd century BC, however, the city center collapsed due to soil liquefaction, possibly triggered by earthquakes, tsunamis, or floods. Eventually, all of Thonis-Heracleion sank underwater, where it remained lost to time until being rediscovered in the early 2000s by marine archaeologists. Since then, large statues, animal sarcophagi, temple ruins, pottery shards, jewelry, coins, and even 2,400-year-old fruit baskets have been pulled from the waves, thus shining new light on this real-life Atlantis. 2. Plain of Jars. Thousands of lichen-covered stone jars from the Iron Age, some standing close to 10 feet tall and weighing several tons, dot the mountainous landscape of northern Laos. Carved largely from sandstone and found in groups ranging from just 1 to 400. Legend holds that giants used them as wine glasses. Many archaeologists, on the other hand, believe they served as funerary urns, though much remains unknown about their purpose, about how they were moved into place, and about the civilization that produced them. Recent research dates at least some of the stone jars to as early as 1240 BC, which would make them far older than the human remains buried nearby. Complicating matters is that many of the jars stand in fields of unexploded munitions, the vestige of a massive U.S. bombing campaign during the Vietnam War, and therefore cannot be safely studied. 3. The Calico case. On the morning of September 20, 1988 in Bella, New Mexico, it seemed like a perfect day to ride a bike. Calico borrowed her mother's pink bike to go out for a spin. Extroverted and active, she worked as a bank teller and was studying to become either a psychologist or a psychiatrist. She planned to play tennis that afternoon and asked her mom to drive out after her in case she got a flat tire and didn't return home by noon. She never did return. Every lead went to a dead end until a year later, when a photo was found depicting a young woman her age and a missing boy, both gagged. The Polaroid photograph was found in a parking lot outside a junior food store in Florida. The 9-year-old Michael Henley went missing in the same area as Calico in April of 1988 when he was hunting turkeys with his father. 5. Paracas Candelabra. Roughly 2,000 years ago, a pre-Inca civilization etched a series of enormous drawings into the dry coastal plain of Peru. Known as the Nazca Lines, these geoglyphs remained largely unknown until aircraft began flying over the area in the 1930s. To the northwest of the Nazca Lines, carved into a hillside overlooking Peru's Pisco Bay, lies the Paracas Candelabra, another massive geoglyph that stretches some 600 feet from top to bottom. Though pottery found at the site has been dated to around 200 BC, no one knows the age of the candelabra itself. Its raison d'etre remains equally fuzzy. One theory holds that it served as a navigational tool for sailors, whereas another claims it depicted the creator god's trident. 6. The Taman Shud case. The Zodiac Killer wasn't the only one who loved to use codes. On the morning of December 1, 1948, a body was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The man's body was in perfect condition, with no injuries to be found. He was well dressed, although all the labels on his clothes were missing. In his pocket was a train ticket to Henley Beach, never to be used. It would be a month later when they would find a suitcase linked to him at Adelaide Railroad Station. Its label was removed, as well as those on the articles of clothing inside it. Unfortunately, it led to no clues, just like his autopsy, which reported no foreign substance in his body that could directly link his death to poisoning. Public library officials called in to translate the phrase. They concluded that it meant ended or finished, which can be found in a collection of poems entitled the Rubaiyat Omar Khayyam. Immediately, police ran a nationwide search for the book where the scrap paper was torn from. A man came forward, claiming that he found the book in the backseat of his unlocked car a week or two before they discovered the body. 7. Cleopatra's tomb. For an ancient ruler, much is known about Cleopatra VII, the so-called last queen of Egypt, who famously consorted with both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and later committed suicide in 30 BC following Antony's and her defeat at the Battle of Actium. Yet the location of Antony's and her tomb the couple were purportedly buried together remains a complete mystery. Some researchers believe it resided in Alexandria, her capital city, and the one-time cultural center of the Mediterranean world, only to be lost when a tsunami swept through in 365 AD. Others suspect elsewhere in the Nile Delta, possibly in a temple dedicated to Isis and Osiris, the gods with which Cleopatra and Antony respectively associated themselves. In addition to Cleopatra's, other legendary lost burial sites include those of Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. 8. Voynich Manuscript. In 1912, rare book dealer Wilfred Voynich acquired a medieval manuscript that he claimed had been housed in an ancient castle in southern Europe, written in an extinct language or code no one could recognize and filled with strange illustrations of fictitious plants and naked women. It has befuddled scholars ever since, including Alan Turing and the FBI, both of whom tried and failed to crack the case. Over the years, several people have professed to decipher it, but each time have been greeted with a massive chorus of doubts. Some suspect the whole thing is an elaborate hoax. Now housed at Yale University, the Voynich Manuscript is available to the public for anyone interested in trying to solve the puzzle once and for all. 9. The Severed Feet Mystery. In 2007, a girl was roaming a beach in British Columbia when she found a sneaker. To her horror, as she opened up the sock, she found that a human foot was inside. Since then, a number of severed feet have washed ashore. The feet have been connected to 5 men, 1 a woman, and 3 of unknown sex. Throughout the years, with a hoax foot thrown here and there, the case has never been completely closed, with many theories floating around as to who the feet belong to. The Vancouver police managed to identify 1 foot in 2008, matching its DNA to a man who was described as suicidal. They later were able to match 2 other feet to a woman who was also believed to have committed suicide. Because of these findings, many speculate that the feet belong to those who jumped off a bridge to their deaths. 10. Stonehenge. Stonehenge, one of the most renowned prehistoric landmarks in the world, began its construction approximately 5,000 years ago, even predating the Bronze Age in England. Throughout centuries of study, researchers have primarily concluded that Stonehenge served as a burial site. Additionally, the origin of the enormous stones used in its construction has been determined. However, many mysteries surrounding Stonehenge persist, as its exact religious, ceremonial, astronomical, and therapeutic significance remains enigmatic. While Stonehenge's role as a burial ground is widely accepted, the significance it held for the people who built it is still subject to speculation and ongoing research. It is believed that the monument's construction was a complex and lengthy process, likely involving a considerable investment of labor and resources. The arrangement of the stones suggests careful planning and alignment with celestial events, leading to theories that Stonehenge held astronomical importance, possibly functioning as an ancient observatory or calendar. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.